We are back this weekend with another One Championship event, One Fight Night 17 at the iconic Lumpini Boxing Stadium. It is an all-striking card this Friday/Saturday, depending on where in the world you are. MMA and One Championship has been in a bit of a weird spot this year. I don't think we've had the amount of MMA contests that a lot of people thought we would see. It's been a strange time for some of the champions. Like, we haven't seen Renier de Ridder compete in MMA this year. We haven't seen Christian Lee for obvious reasons. And he is a two-division champion. It's just been a bit of a strange one. It has been mostly striking, and I think that the One Friday Fights series has been a very beneficial part of that, and also maybe contribute. I mean, they've had MMA fights on that series as well, so I guess you can't really blame that for a lack of MMA. I think that, if anything, it's helped fill the cards. Because there's a couple of people on this card that have really benefited from One Friday Fights, and the same can be said for One Friday Fights 46, which is coming up on December 22nd. That is the one that really closes out the year for One Championship. And if we're being straight up honest, there's no doubt about it. One Friday Fights 46, if you were going to watch one of the two events, that is the one to watch. One Friday Fights 46 is one of the best striking cards of the year. If it was a fight night card, I'd say it's one of the best fight night cards of the year. It is that good. Of course, it is all striking, so I do like a little bit of variation with the fight night cards, but hey, we don't have that here, so I feel like it's obvious to compare these two events, right? Yeah, One Friday Fights 46 is the one to watch if you are going to watch one, but there's still some good stuff to watch here, so you know, stick around. Let's talk about it. Talking about one of the guys that has made a huge impact on One Friday Fights this year, the first fighter I want to draw attention to as one of the reasons to tune into this card is Johan Ghazali, I believe is how you say his name, Johan Ghazali. Name pronunciations. You tune into a preview of One Championship. I'm going to get some names wrong. It's a given. He has been fantastic on the One Friday Fight series. This is his fight night debut. He has picked up 4 wins this year on Friday Fights. He's the youngest ever fighter to win a 6-figure contract with One Championship. He's just 17 years old, 16 years old when he signed the deal, which is incredible. And some of those finishes on the Friday Fight series have been absolutely fantastic. There's a reason this guy is picking up, like, legit attention from places that don't usually cover striking, right? Because not only is he 16-year-old and he's signed to One Championship, but, you know, he looks a real talent. He, like I said, makes his fight night debut on this card against Edgar Tabarez, who I believe he held the WBC Muay Thai title or something like that. But he hasn't really impressed so far in One Championship. He, of course, stepped in to face Rodtang on his debut at One Fight Night 10, and, you know, losing to Rodtang is one thing, but Rodtang can definitely make you look silly, and I think he did make Tabarez look a little bit silly on that night. And then he, of course, I believe he was stopped in the first round by Elias Mahmoudi, who, of course, you know, is the number 1 contender and is going to go and fight Superlek for the title in January next year. But still, you know, like I said, hasn't really lit the world on fire since signing with One Championship. So it'd be interesting. This is a really good acid test, I think, for Ghazali. Again, like I said, I haven't been that impressed by Tabarez, but, you know, he's fought 2 really tough guys, and we haven't seen Ghazali at that level of competition yet. So if he beats Edgar Tabarez, then the ceiling for this guy is very, very exciting. So definitely worth tuning in to watch him. Speaking from a complete UK bias, I'm going to be tuning in to watch Jacob Smith, who is a Brit. He is taking on Walter Gonsalves. So, you know, the fight hasn't got huge stakes or anything, but it's just one that I like to keep an eye on because I just like to watch British strikers do well. Moving on, Dmitry Menshikov, of course, the former lightweight title challenger, had a really poor debut against Regin Ursel. Caught early, and Ursel is fantastic, of course, but reading about Menshikov, it sounded quite promising that he might actually be able to pose some kind of a threat to Regin Ursel, but wasn't to be. And he ended up getting back in the win column. I can't remember who Menshikov beat now. No, it's gone from my brain. But he is going to be taking on Mushin Shafi. Again, probably butchered that, so I do apologise. Shafi put on a good fight against Sintimet Klinmi on short notice. Klinmi was, of course, meant to fight Liam Nolan. I was really excited for that fight, but didn't end up happening. Quite a quick turnaround this for Shafi, considering he fought at One Fight Night 16. In that fight with Klinmi, I thought I was fairly impressed with him against Klinmi. I really rate Sintimet, and it was a decent contest that ended in a decision for Klinmi. So I think that this is a pretty interesting fight, and obviously whoever wins, I think because, you know, you've already had Shafi go and fight Klinmi, and you've already had Menshikov fight Ersel, so it's like they can't really go down from here with a win. Like whichever guy comes out on top, I imagine is going to get a really, you know, another really top fight in the division, be it like a Liam Nolan or somebody like that. So yeah, quite a lot of stake on that one, actually, and I'm excited to see. I think that there is a lot more to come from both guys, and I don't know where they are at in terms of level compared to each other, so I'm excited to find that out on Fight Night. You also have on this card, you've got Joe Nattawut back in action. He has lost his last 3, Smoking Joe, but, you know, the level of opponent, you've got Chingiz Alazov, maybe the best in the world right now. Jamal Yusupov, who of course challenged Tawanchai for the Muay Thai title, and then Tawanchai in kickboxing, a fight that was extremely close. A lot of people thought Nattawut won that fight, so not bad losses, but you know, 3 in a row isn't great, but some close fights in there and some very tough opponents. I haven't seen anything of his opponent, Luke Lasay, the Chef, fantastic nickname. One picked him for a reason, so I'm hoping this will be a competitive contest for Nattawut and not just a way to get him back in the win column, but we will see. I really don't know much about this. And the same can be said for one half of the main event, who we'll start with before we talk about the guy that I do know a bit about. Alex Roberts, Australian striker, won the WBC heavyweight Muay Thai title and is now in One Championship, making his debut fighting for the inaugural One Heavyweight Muay Thai World Championship. I didn't see this coming, a heavyweight Muay Thai title in One. I'm kind of excited to see it if they can find people to populate the division. I don't think they can, is my kind of like feeling to why this fight doesn't hold a ton of significance, but I do think it'll be an exciting contest. Again, I haven't seen anything of Alex Roberts. I know that he went and won that WBC title, so he's been signed to One for a reason. How good is he compared to Roman Kriklia? That is what we need to find out, and hopefully I just hope we get a good contest out of it. Roman Kriklia, of course, unbeaten in One Championship in 5 fights. He is the light heavyweight kickboxing world champion. He is also the heavyweight kickboxing world Grand Prix winner. So looking to become a 2-sport world champion at One Fight Night 17 and a 2-weight world champion at the same time, of course, because this is the heavyweight Muay Thai title and he is the light heavyweight kickboxing champion. So I think it's a fun fight. I think it could be a very entertaining main event. Will this division have much staying power? I'm not that sure. Is Alex Roberts going to be a tough enough test for Kriklia? Kriklia seems to think so, and so I'm excited to watch the fight play out. But if we're being honest, this feels like a Friday Fights card, and the Friday Fights card feels like a Fight Night card. That's just the way it is, and I understand One wanting to end the year with a bang, and I believe, I think Tawanchai and Superbomb were scheduled for this card and they wanted to get pushed back till later on in the year, so it is what it is. I'm not complaining, you know, you just switch the names around and I'm happy. So I'm kind of treating this card like a Friday Fights card with some good fights. Like I said, I'm excited to watch Johan Ghazali. I am excited to watch this Felipe Lobo Simon Petch-Fairtex fight, and I am excited to watch that main event and see Kriklia become either a 2-sport 2-weight world champion or potentially see Alex Roberts pull off an incredible upset and hand Kriklia his first loss under the One Championship banner. Thank you for checking out this Fight Night preview. As mentioned, I will be back to preview One Friday Fights 46, which is on December 22nd. And as I mentioned, that card, absolute bangers. So stay tuned for that. Hit subscribe, all that good stuff. Drop me a comment if you're excited for this event and which fight in particular you're excited for. And yeah, I will catch you very soon.